Here we go, guys. The South Australia Gather Round is back. Welcome back to this YouTube video. Today we'll be going through round number 5. All 18 teams will be playing in South Australia for Gather Round. Might be going to Gather Round next year in Adelaide, I'm not sure. But here we go. Let's not waste any more time and let's get stuck into it. Alright, the first of the Gather Round game for 2025 is between Adelaide and Geelong at the Adelaide Oval. Now, look, Adelaide have been in absolutely magnificent form for the start of the season, but however, they once again they got robbed. They got robbed Isaac Rankin. I think the umpires thought that he dropped the mark, allowing the Suns to hang on for a 1-point win at People First Stadium. That was last week in round 4, which left all Adelaide supporters furious. Damn. Oh my goodness here. I am going to say, I'm going to pick the Cats to get this done because Geelong coming off a good win against Melbourne at GMHBA Stadium last week on Saturday. Now we are 2-2. Expect the Cats to go 3-2. So I'm just going to tip Geelong to get this done. Geelong by 22 points. The next game's between Collingwood and Sydney at the Adelaide Oval. Now, Collingwood, they're on a really hot form, winning the last 3 games. Recently, they made Carlton, and look, Sydney Swans. They're going okay. They're getting there after levelling their ledger by winning 2 games after demolishing North Melbourne last week at Marvel Stadium. I really don't know who to tip. I'm going to tip the Pies to get this done. So, I'm going to tip the Pies. Because Collingwood, I think they will... It's going to be a good game, but I think the Pies will be just too strong for the Swans in the last quarter. So, my final call is Collingwood to get this done by... Let's make this a really close one, because Sydney's actually got to step up in this game. I'm going to say Pies by 15. The next game is between North Melbourne and Gold Coast at Barassa Park, a new venue. Now, Gold Coast still undefeated after 3 games. That is just absolutely unbelievable. North Melbourne, obviously... searching for the second win of the season. They got smashed by Sydney last week. And yeah, I don't think Kangaroos will get this done because Gold Coast, given how hot the form the Suns are, they shouldn't have any trouble beating the Kangaroos over there. So I'm just going to go with the Suns. Gold Coast to get this done by, let's go with 52 points. The next game's between Carlton and the West Coast Eagles at the Adelaide Oval. Now, obviously, only one of these teams will get their first win of the season. Carlton been on a poor form, but I think they will finally get the job done against the West Coast Eagles. Look, West Coast, they're just struggling, have problems, and they'll just need to find a way to step up and improve, so... And for this, I'm going to back in the Blues to get their first win of the season. And yeah, and I'm going to do that. Tip the Blues. Carlton to get this done by... Let's go 28 points. The next game is between the Dogs and the Lions at Norwood Oval. Now, Brisbane... on a bit good form, great form, 4-0, and the Dogs, it's going to be a tough ask to play against the reigning premiers at Norwood. But the Dogs haven't been on a bad form. They just struggle against good sides and play well against shit sides. Currently 10th on the ladder with a win-loss record. I don't know who to tip. I reckon I might tip. I'm back in Brisbane to get this done because the Lions, given how impressive their form is over the last 4 games, being able to come back and win against these opponents from last week, Big call is the Dogs lead by a good margin, but then Brisbane comes back in the last quarters and wins. So I'm just going to tip the Lions in a comeback win. Brisbane to get this job done by 14 points. The next game's between Melbourne and Essendon at the Adelaide Oval. Now, Melbourne they're really struggling on their form right now. Haven't even won a game after getting smashed by Geelong at the Cattery last week. Essendon their form is okay, but they just can't play against good teams. That's why they only won a game. Which that should be their second win of the season. So yeah, I'm going to tip the Bombers to get this done. Because given the Bombers' perform against the D's, that's way better. Essendon to get this done by 32 points. The next game is between Richmond and Fremantle at Barossa Park. Now, last week Richmond did put up a fight against the Lions, but ultimately they didn't quite get the job done as they lost by 28 points at the MCG before North Melbourne Sydney went to. And Freo coming off a strong win against the Dogs at Optus Stadium, a statement performance at the home deck. South Barossa Park, or don't think Freo will have any trouble. So yep, got to tip the Dockers to get this done. Fremantle to get this done by 37 points. The next game's between St Kilda and the GWS Giants at Norwood Oval. Now, Saints, they won 3 in a row against the Cats, Tigers, and Port Adelaide. I don't know who to tip. And the Giants obviously probably got to be a better team because look, Giants on a really top form so far here in the footy in this competition this year. So I think I'm going to back into Giants to get this done. The GWS Giants to get this done by, let's go 30 points. Final game to Gather Round between Port Adelaide and Hawthorn at the Adelaide Oval. Now, look, this is going to be an interesting clash up. Port Adelaide obviously got upset by the Saints last week at the Adelaide Oval, and are they in a good form? They don't won a game and they've lost 2 in a row. I think I'm going to back in the Power I'm going to take a big risk and I'm going to tip Port Adelaide to get this done because many people would love to see the Power get a win for all the South Australian fans at the Gather Round. And so, yeah, I'm just going to back the Power in to get this done in the last game. Because to hand Hawthorn their first loss, because will be more Port Adelaide fans and hopefully do a repeat as last week's semi-final. So I'm just going the Power to get this done by 8 points because it's going to be a really close one, but the Power edges the Hawks out for Hawks' first loss of the season. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this round 5 gathering footy tips. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for everyone who tuned into my videos and live stream, and give it a like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you in another video or a live stream.